John Fredericks got your back. Tania Burgess live, Fort Worth. She's running in a very crowded GOP primary to replace Pete Sessions, a liberal never-Trumper, rhino Republican. Tania Burgess taking no prisoners. She's seen as an underdog in this race. The establishment is going to put all kinds of money behind others. Tania, tell me how your campaign's going.
Hi, good morning, John. Thank you for having me on your show. Campaign is doing great. We've got a lot of great support. I just want to correct you. We're in the 32nd Congressional District in North Dallas, and people are great. I mean, we've got a lot of support out of that congressional district that branches out from Richardson to Garland, Texas, up to Wiley and Rowlett. Things are going great. I'm loving the responses that we're getting. We're getting nationwide support from our American First patriots and Trump supporters. It's doing well. I'm excited about the race.
All right, so look, you've got a lot of candidates, and we're waiting. We know that the so-called establishment, those that don't want a America First candidate to be representing them, we know the firebombs are going to come out, the cannons are going to come out. How are you going to navigate your way through that? Because you know the hits are going to come.
I have one response to all the Republican candidates that have been jumping up onto the ticket just in the last 60 days. I was the first declared Republican candidate. I didn't hesitate. I didn't procrastinate. I know what we're up against with the far left, with the progressives, with Colin Allred. We shouldn't be jumping into a race late in the game, and if you are, I'm going to question to why you procrastinated. Okay, we are at a serious stage in politics in our country, and these candidates are stacking the ticket. That's not uniting behind one Republican candidate to win back and regain the district. It's splitting the vote in the primary. Pete Sessions really isn't out of the game, okay? Pete Sessions has a dead website, a dead social media. He's got a declaration that he filed a month before he lost to Colin Allred in the midterms. He's played media games over the last couple of months. Now he's speculating in media that he's going to make an announcement whether or not he's going to publicly announce to jump into this race. Hey, if Pete Sessions jumps into this thing, all he's going to do is split the vote, and he's going to lose to Colin Allred. We've got to join together. This is why I use the slogan, Unite to Win. It's going to take the entire nation and patriots to get behind the America First candidate that's going to support our president, that's going to most importantly support the American people. Get out there and represent the American people the way we should represent them. They deserve good, quality representation with integrity that's going to uphold our oath of office and get the job done. People are tired of all talk, no action. They want to get a job done. They are sick and tired of the parrot politics.
All right, so let me ask you this, Tania Burgess. You're running in the 32nd district.
Yes, sir.
Pete Sessions got beat last time in the midterms. He's basically a rhino, never Trumper. He gets beat by Colin Allred. What is the rationale for him running again?
Just to stay in politics, to stay relevant, and it's all about the money with these rhinos. They've got to stay relevant. They got to stay involved. I really don't know what his end game is, but I would have preferred seeing Pete Sessions come out, retire on a good note. He's already lost once. Don't be a second-time loser. Come out and unite and get behind, the Republican candidate that come into this race and be a unifier instead of, coming into this thing to split the vote to lose again. That district is tired of establishment. They're tired of the parties. They want to see a people's candidate come in and represent them and get a job done. Pete Sessions is only setting himself up to lose and setting us up to lose that district again and it remain in the hands of Colin Allred, a Democrat that is endorsed by Obama, endorsed by the Castros, endorsed by Kamala Harris. Hey, listen, this is a serious race. It's high profile, and we got to get action. People have got to get behind our America First candidates, support our America First candidates, and start contributing, donating, do whatever you can to push out the name branding recognition. We need your help out there.
All right, Tania, let me ask you this. One of the criticisms that you're going to get, and I want you to go ahead and address it now, is you campaigned in the last cycle for a candidate running against Paul Ryan in Wisconsin by the name of Paul Niehlan.
Yes,
right?
I did.
Paul Niehlan has ties to being a white supremacist. He's also had a lot of racist things that he's posted and said. I personally, when I first heard any of this came out, wouldn't have anything to do with him. I had him on my show one time.
Right.
Somebody sent me some of the things he said. I disassociated myself from him immediately and said I wouldn't back him and I wouldn't have him on my show again ever. Mm-hmm. Yet you continue to campaign for him. They're going to tag you with this in the primary. How do you explain that?
Let me jump into this. I campaigned for him up in Wisconsin during the 2016 primary against Paul Niehlan. Many of the former Trump staff and us went up to Wisconsin to campaign for Paul Niehlan. At that time, this was unknown to us. Paul Niehlan was completely different. After the primary, he got out there and did some really messed up things that I denounced. Many of us came out on social media and said, listen, we do not condone Paul Niehlan's actions. We don't condone where he's going with this. We do not condone his involvement, and we denounced him. Okay, I denounced him. But the fact is the facts. I went up there. I was a field representative for his campaign at the time, and this was an unknown to us until way after the fact. I mean, it's like he turned about face real quick after the primary, and many of us was quite disgusted with the route he took and remain disgusted, to be honest with you.
Tania Burgess, do you completely renounce your association with Paul Niehlan now on the air? Completely renounce it, renounce him?
Absolutely. Hey, listen, a lot of people don't realize this, that, people come up and they call me a racist. I'm like, listen, that's really hard to be a racist when my two nieces are African-American. My grandson is Hispanic. My brother-in-law was brought into America at the age of 18 months old. He's a DACA recipient. He's Hispanic. I love my family. I love the American people. This isn't about race. I'm not a racist. I don't condone anyone dividing and being discriminatory and racist against specific groups, period. And I denounce him, period, 100%.
Tania, let's get to Afghanistan and the so-called meeting at Camp David that the president was willing to have with Taliban leaders along with the president of Afghanistan that he scuttled on the weekend after their terrorist attack. The neocons have been all over this, saying that the Taliban shouldn't go to Camp David. They shouldn't be in Washington. They shouldn't be in that prestigious location based on the fact that they harbored Al-Qaeda at the time of their attack, killing 5,000 Americans. Do you believe that the president did the right thing in trying to have a meeting at Camp David with the Taliban or not?
My take on it is I understand where Trump is trying to really raise the bar and trying to negotiate and trying to create a peace negotiable action here. But it's a pretty risky deal, to go out there and to put yourself in that position to meet with the Taliban. At the end of the day, I really don't think we should be negotiating with them. There's nothing to negotiate. Okay, we need to stand tough. We need to be strong. We need to put our foot down. There's no more playing games. If you're an enemy of the American people in the United States, hey, listen, we need to put you in your place. No one wants to go to war. No one wants to continue to see the catastrophe and the terrorist attacks across the country. Hey, you know what? We got to do what we got to do. We always have done what we have to do. And if we have to go out there to get a job done, to put them in their rightful place, that's exactly what we intend to do. President Trump, he's got his game, and he's got his agenda, and he's going to do what is best for our country. At the end of the day, I'm going to fully back him and support him, whatever it may be.
All right, so what you're saying is you personally don't see the value in having the Taliban at Camp David, but you do back the president's peace accord. Because I think what the president was trying to do is, look, you're not going to eradicate the Taliban. They're controlling 1/3 of the country in Afghanistan now. So if you're going to have peace there, you're going to have to bring them to the table. Just like Jimmy Carter, when he did his peace accord in Camp David, he brought Yasser Arafat in. Yasser Arafat, not exactly the cleanest guy in the world, all right? But the PLO, they have to deal with him. And so, same thing. I see some of where you're coming from, but I believe in order for the president to get peace and get our kids out of Afghanistan, you're going to have the Taliban at the table. Tania, final. I've got about a half a minute. People want to get in touch with your campaign and get you rolling. How do they do that?
They can visit my website at Tania, Tania for America.com or Tania for Texas.com. They can reach out to us at teamburgess2020@gmail.com. Hit me up on social media on Twitter. It's Tania Burgess, Texas TX, and also on Facebook, Tania Burgess for United States Congress.
Tania, you keep fighting. I love the fact that you're a fighter. I love the fact that you're an unabashed, America First, pro-Trump candidate for Congress. I think if you keep doing what you're going to do, what you're doing now, you're going to win that primary and you're going to beat Aldridge. And I'm going to see you in your office in Washington in January 2021.
Absolutely. God bless you and God bless America. God bless the president.
Thank you, Tania. John Fredericks Radio
Thank you.
Network.